Hello again. I'm Suzanne and this is Making It in Maine, my YouTube channel where I share some of my passions, one of which, a huge passion, is fabric. So I'm sharing my quilting projects. I also enjoy knitting. So I share some of my knitting with you. I also love to hook rugs, though it's been a little bit since I've done any rug hooking. Let's see, needle punch. I do miniature needle punch. I do wool applique. I do a little bit of crochet. So a little bit of all of those traditional crafts, I guess you'd say. And my last video, I was playing with scraps. Mountains, oh mountains of scraps. And I completed several blocks. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I may turn 4 into a doll quilt for my granddaughter. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in total. So I was having a lot of fun with this and used up a lot of scraps. Last night I stayed up quite late, I just realized I put water on to boil downstairs. Hold on. Yikes. Note to self, if you have put water on to boil downstairs, but you're going upstairs, set a timer to go back down. Anyway, as I was saying, I used up a lot of scraps, a lot of my brights and what would you call them? Children's prints. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Anyway, last night I stayed up way too late ironing a bunch of my darker fabrics, my reproduction fabrics and similar, colors. So I woke up this morning late because I stayed up so late. And I ironed a few more of those scraps. And I am feeling scrapped out right now, scrapped out. So I am now ironing a piece of Easter fabric because I want to make my granddaughter an Easter pillowcase. And I got this piece of fabric. Why don't I keep ironing while I'm yammering? I got this piece of fabric at a local discount surplus store here in Maine. It's called Martin's. I don't know if in your neck of the woods you have any such store, but that is what it is called here in Maine. So I got fabric to make a pillowcase for my granddaughter. I also picked up, as I was perusing the aisles, I also got this piece of fabric that has lilacs on it. I love purple and green. But anywho, I thought I would make my daughter a pillowcase with this because she loves lilacs. And I also got 2 other yards of fabric. at this discount store, the fabric is typically $5.99 or $6.99 a yard. So all right, let me back up. In my last video, I shared how my full-time job was just really using up a lot of my energy. And I was baking in a local bakery. And it just, I was bushed at the end of the day. And I wear aprons when I'm baking, so my clothing doesn't get covered with flour and the like. And I don't know about you, but my aprons tend to shift to the side. And maybe it's because I'm a little bit endowed up here. Thanks, Mom. Anyway, be grateful for what we have, even if we wish it was something different. So my aprons shift to the side, and one of my girls, shall we say, ends up like peeking out from behind the apron curtain, and it just drives me bananas. So I found this apron pattern, and I'm going to try making one of those to see if that alleviates the problem. So I was searching for, because I want to do, it's a reversible, and I want, you know, a nice fabric on both sides. So I was perusing the aisles, and this is what I came up with. This is what I came up with. This one, I really liked the colors. And it's sort of impressionistic to me, like a impressionist painting. So that is going to be the front of the apron, or one side of the apron. And then I chose this one to be the other side. So I felt like those colors went quite well together. So that's what I'm going with. Let me see. Let me see. See, I think they complement each other quite well. They don't have to match perfectly, whatever. So that's also on my agenda while I'm taking this break from scraps. And I had been looking for, and I didn't want to pay a lot for it, which is why I sometimes look at the discount store. I was looking for a beigey color. And let me grab some fabric I got at the discount store quite some time ago. Quite some time ago, meaning last year, I think. So I found these two pretty prints. And I've never done a 3-yard quilt. So these are each yard, and this is a yard. And I thought that would make a pretty quilt. Yeah, I thought that would be pretty. Because my first love in fabric was the reproduction fabrics, the dark fabrics. And it took me quite a while to warm up to the brights. And I'm not sure what caused that shift. So I still adore the reproduction fabrics and the darks. So is what that is for. And let me just tell you, this is Renee Nanaman, Needle Love. And I think this, yep, this is Renee Nanaman also. And this piece that I got the other day is Janet Nesbitt for Henry Glass. Janet Nesbitt of One Sister Designs. So that is, and it's from her linen closet line. So there is that. And let me just tell you what these fabrics are. Portfolio of Landscapes by Elizabeth Isles for Studio E. And this one is a Free Spirit fabric, Time and Tide by Shell Rummel, I guess. The Spirit to Create. Okay. Spirit to Create. I don't know if that's just a Free Spirit slogan, probably. And let's see what the lilac fabric is. The lilac is a Henry Glass. They had a lot of Henry Glass fabric up there. And this is called Boomerang by Jane Shasky, I guess. So that's what I'm up to in my sewing room today. So I'm going to shut the camera off because I don't want to just yammer on about nothing in particular. So I might see you back here in a little bit, reporting in with my progress so far. In a previous video, I think I showed you this pillowcase that I made when I was interested in teaching young people how to sew. That has not happened yet. The ball got dropped, not by me, but I reached out to a different organization recently, and hopefully I hear back from them with consistency. But I was displeased with this pillowcase because I wanted the direction of the print to be going this way. So hopefully the one I'm making right now will be correct. So I cut a piece of fabric. Let's see, what were the dimensions? 27 by 42 inches. So width of fabric by 27 inches. Did I say 22? 27 inches. And then the band, this part gets cut at 9 by 42. So you put the 9 by 42 strip face up, right side up, and then you put the focus fabric or the main fabric right side down, matching up the top edge. Then you roll it up like a hot dog. Then you bring the bottom part of the 9 by 42 up and pin those 3 layers together. Hopefully that's as clear as mud. So then you sew along that seam with the 3 fabrics. And now I am pulling, so it looks like a hot dog. Now I am pulling everything out of the hot dog roll, shall we say. I don't need hot dog rolls, but all right. I feel like I'm taking off some very overly tight tights, pulling them off my leg or something, or really tight sock. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so there's that. Now, so there's the band, and now I have to iron it. But before I do that, let me just see. Let me fold it in half as if it were already put together, and there's my fabric in the direction I wanted it. So now I will iron it and sew the other sides. I'll explain that when I get to it. Oops, I forgot to cut my thread buddy off. Let me do that without cutting the pillowcase. So, wrong sides together. I stitched along the long edge with a 1/4" seam and the short edge with a 1/4" seam. Now, here's the beauty. This is how you do a French seam. Now I'm going to turn it right side in and wrong side out. And now, after I press it, I'm going to stitch along there with, all right, I gotta poke out gotta get the corners nicely poked out. But I'll be back. I just made a grave error, and I guess I got lost in thought, not paying attention. I went around one side, and then I was coming along the short side of the pillowcase and kept on going. This is where there is no raw edge. So now I have to pick these stitches out and do a little back tacking there to make sure it doesn't come apart. I fixed my little blunder. I was supposed to have stitched right off the edge, but I kept going around the corner. Don't know if you can see the needle marks from where I picked out those stitches. Oh well, no harm, no foul. At least I didn't do the whole length of the pillowcase. So now I have no raw edges whatsoever. Now to turn the pillowcase right side out. Trying to do it so that I don't have a messy corner. Let's see. Oh, I'll probably still use my little purple fang tool. All right, I'll fiddle with the corners later. Fiddle with the corners later. Of course, it's going to need a nice ironing. There it is. All done. Nice inches, nothing raw on the inside. That's the beauty of these pillowcases with the French seams. All right, dear ones, that is going to be a wrap for today because it's getting late in the afternoon and I have a commitment in a little bit. I cannot say how regular my videos are going to be. All depends on the energy, the time. I've had some time off this winter, and April 1st, I think I will be back at work. So time is getting nearer to that, nearing the end of my little winter respite. Why wasn't I filming during my winter respite? Don't know. Just wasn't feeling it. So I'm feeling it today. I was feeling it a couple of days ago. So from my heart to yours, until next time, bye for now.